Okay, so today I'm going to be going over the different ways to grow on Instagram and how you can actually use those strategies for yourself so that you can get targeted followers and of course you want engagement as well. So what are the different ways that you can grow in 2021? All right, so before I go into the growth strategies, okay, one second, put you down. I just wanted to do a quick little introduction about myself. This is the first time I'm going live in this group. I usually go live in my group. And my name is Terry, and I am a Yorkie mom. She was just in my lap, but she did not want to be a part of this presentation. So she was like, I'm going to my bed. I'm half Black, half Korean. So if there's anyone who's Korean out there and knows about Korean food, let me know. I love, being able to be a part of two cultures. So I just love that aspect. And I've also played field hockey for over 8 years. So if there's anyone that knows that sport, let me know, or has actually played that sport, let me know. I also am a former blogger. I used to have a vegan food blog called the Banana Chronicles, and that was really fun. So if there's any bloggers that want to talk about how to, monetize and build an audience with their blog, then definitely let me know. I'm a digital marketer. I went to school at Cal State Northridge and I studied marketing, so that is my bread and butter. And I started about 4 or 5 years ago an Instagram automation app. So similar to like Instagram or Boostgram, where you connect and you do the follow and grow followers. And I had a influencer app as well. So that's kind of how I got into the world of social media marketing. So I have helped so many people from all over the world grow millions of followers because we had thousands of customers. So that was a really fun time in my life. And now I am teaching Instagram marketing since it's not as easy anymore as plugging into an automation software and waking up with, hundreds of new followers. So when you Google or research different ways to grow on Instagram, you're not going to find a lot of strategies. You're going to see a lot of the mainstream articles between like Neil Patel or Later or TechCrunch or whatever, or Social Media Examiner or Marketer. You just have to use content. So they specifically say just use content if you want to grow followers. So of course we definitely know that, but are there strategies and tactics to grow? And yes, there are. Now, keep in mind that you also may find like different tools and automation tools that you can use. I highly recommend against that because you will get flagged very easily and get your account disabled. And Instagram is making it very difficult to recover your account once it is disabled. So, some of the three keys to success on Instagram, the first one is, of course, to know your audience. Because if you don't know who you're speaking to, then you don't know, how to promote your products or what type of content you want to make. So this is something that you probably hear in any sort of like coaching or entrepreneur or like business, when you're doing research and stuff, they're always going to start with saying, like, do you know who your audience is? And it's not just the age and the demographic and the location. You want to know things like, how they make purchase behaviors. What decisions do they need, right? Do they need testimonials, reviews, or, seeing it from an influencer? To what are their wants, desires, and needs? What type of transformation are they looking for? So those are important things to understand when it comes to knowing who your audience is. And then the second thing is content. Because if you're not posting on your feed or your story or anything, then you're not seen on Instagram, right? So everything revolves around content on Instagram and making sure that that content, again, is relevant to your buyer. your audience, your follower, whatever the case may be. And so then the last thing is to have a strategy, because there's so many strategies within strategies inside Instagram that you want to make sure that you have something written down that you can actually measure, so that you're using your time wisely and focusing on things that are working and not, doing things that aren't working. But if you're just winging it and posting willy-nilly and you're not, you know, um, being able to just track or measure, then you can get really lost, because you have to have a strategy in order to, know what type of goals you're trying to meet with your content and, your sales or whatever your current objectives are. So when it comes to Instagram content, there are 4 pillars. And these 4 pillars is something that we created because we looked at the 4 main goals and the 4 main reasons that people are on Instagram. So you can actually create content to get these results. So the first thing is obviously followers, right? If you're on Instagram, you need followers in order to have any sort of visibility, right? To see your content or your products or whatever. So the first initiative is to use content with a specific intent to grow followers. Then the next thing is engagement. You want those followers to actually engage with you, because let's say you have like 10,000 or 50,000 followers, but your engagement is extremely low and you are, getting like 20 likes or 50 likes, 100 likes is super low. So then what's the point of having followers if they're not engaged, right? Because you're just then still going to be posting content that nobody is seeing. So having engaged followers is extremely important. So understanding how to create an engagement strategy with your content is going to be key. So it's going to be a blend of different types of strategies in your overall content strategy. That's why you want to have, a plan, a goal, and actually, think this through. Then the next thing, of course, is you want sales, right? So you want these engaged followers to turn into customers. So that is going to then, have its own strategy as well, because you can't just post your product post with, and just telling the price and saying this is available and expecting people to buy. You actually have to learn, what's your customer life cycle? What is, your customer journey, and how can you create a personalized shopping experience, right? What's the sales psychology that I can apply in my sales content? And then lastly, you're going to have community content. So it's important to nurture the people that have already become your customers, right? So just as much as you spend time trying to find new customers, you want to also make sure that you take care of the customers that have already entered your bubble, because these are going to become your brand advocates. They're going to become loyal to you. They're going to refer people to you, and you're not going to have to spend a lot of money to maintain them. So it's important that you understand that content also is about building community and establishing that relationship with your followers. Okay. So, one of the first ways to grow on Instagram is to use giveaways. There are so many different types of giveaways that you can use. And one of the most popular ones right now, especially if you search, Instagram giveaways, there are a lot of companies are coming up with these websites where they have a list of influencers, and these influencers are hosting giveaways, weekly or whatever the schedule may be. And so you buy into a giveaway and then they follow you. And so they instruct their followers, in order to win whatever the prize is that they have to now follow everyone that's following you. Well, this is a great way if you want to grow. You can grow like 10,000 followers within a day. Like it's extreme growth. But it does also have its downsides, because these people had an incentive to follow you. So it wasn't even an incentive for your product. It was, something that was outside of you. So although they may be your target demographic, they might not necessarily be interested in following your page for you. So you may tend to have a lot of drop off, even though you're growing so quickly with this method. So loop giveaways can be, great, but again, it just really depends. And if your content doesn't resonate with these people, then they're definitely not going to stay after the giveaway is over. So some of the best recommendations in regards to doing a giveaway is first to do a co-branded collab. So co-branded collabs and internal giveaways are way better, because these are giveaways that your people that actually follow you are participating in. And then they're going to refer people that they think is going to be relevant to the offer. So you're going to be able to grow more targeted followers this way than someone who's just participating in a loop giveaway and doesn't really care about your brand. So with co-branded giveaways, you get to leverage the audience that someone else has built. And so if you see in this first example with Hum Kombucha, they're hosting this little sugar-free giveaway. So they've partnered with a sugar-free candy and their sugar-free kombucha. And it's the perfect giveaway because it's going to be relevant to their audience and to the new audience that they found. And then if you have them tag a friend or share it to their story, you're going to get targeted followers that are choosing to follow you. They are still incentivized, but at this point though, they're really focusing because they have an interest in your product. And they also may buy your product even if they aren't participating in the giveaway. So then of course you can host giveaways for new product launches or holiday launches and try to get creative and think outside the box. So if you see in this last example, they created this little find it game where you had to find the product, and then they hosted it for 24 hours, and then you pick a winner. So giveaways are an amazing way to grow when they're done correctly, and you will get targeted followers, and the drop off is a lot less than if you were to do a loop giveaway. So the next way to grow on Instagram is to use influencer marketing. So I'm not sure if you do a lot of research on Instagram influencers, but most recently, Gymshark has a $1 billion valuation, and they built their entire Instagram structure. Hey, come here. Instagram structure on using influencer marketing. So they were able to leverage the power of influencer marketing to the point where they were able to broker a deal that they now are worth over $1 billion. And I believe they did that in as little as 2 to 5 years. Okay. So how insane is that? How amazing is that? You don't get that with any other platform that quickly. So with influencer marketing, I know that it costs. So you have to be clever in your approach when you're just getting started and you're limited in resources. So barter with people. See if that they're willing to work with you on an affiliate basis where they get paid when a sale is actually made, right? So they're more performance based and it's not going to cost you anything except for sending them your product. And also, another good way is to look at the people that are already mentioning you and are highly active inside of your comments, because then you can reach out to them and more than likely they're going to want to be an influencer for you because they simply love your brand. So with Hum Kombucha, I actually was an influencer for them because I was just posting about them a lot. I just really love the kombucha. And then for a year, I got free kombucha and I just was excited about it. So there's so many ways that you can start to build the momentum for your influencer marketing. And you can use them to announce product releases and different giveaways as well to help amplify giveaways. So influencer marketing is a surefire way to grow targeted followers. So, a good tip to make sure that you're able to get the conversions that you're looking for is to let the influencer create content that's organic to their original style. So, of course, you can give them some tips and some protocols and things like that, but let them create the content because they know what their followers want to see and they know how to sell your product specifically to their followers. Okay. So one of the next ways to grow is to utilize shoutouts. And shoutouts are basically paying for a post on someone's page in order to get followers. So this is usually done on theme pages. Influencers don't really do this. They don't like to, they consider it like just messing up their feed. So theme pages like, makeup or dogs or fitness or whatever, you can pay for a post. And the great thing about this is that it really does bring in targeted followers because people have to choose to follow you. There's no incentive to follow you. So if you see here in this example, it's a fitness page and it says, hey, go follow this account if you want more fitness tips and tricks, right? So if someone sees this and it resonates with them, they choose to follow you. So the shout out method is a paid method, and you can find these pages by simply just searching on Instagram, or you can do a Google search for Instagram sponsored post because there are so many websites now since this is a popular thing. It's been a popular thing for a long time, but It's become even more popular since there's no automation tools. And you can find the different accounts that offer this service, and usually they'll give you their insights as well, so you can make sure that you're posting on targeted accounts. So again, this is amazing because there's no incentive and people choose to follow you, but it does cost money. All right, so you can spend as little though as $500 and get 5,000 targeted followers from doing this. So some of the best practices is to make sure again that the audience is relevant, and try to create content that's similar to the style of that page, because that's what those followers are going to be used to. And then if they come back to your page and see your amazing content, then they're going to want to follow you as well. And in order to measure this, spread your sponsored post out. So do one sponsored post, look at the time that it was posted, measure the results, right? So however long you bought the post for, because you could buy a post for like an hour, 3 hours, 24 hours, whatever. Let that run through, see how many followers you got, and that way you'll be able to measure and track your conversions and see what pages are worth it and which ones are not. So shout outs are a really amazing way to grow followers. So, my most favorite way to grow followers that does not cost any money is simply using viral content. Okay, so viral content basically just means that you're using content that has been shown to trend. Okay, and this works because if it trends by itself with the original creator or whatever the case may be, if done and used in your strategy correctly, it can also trend for you too. So that's why we use viral content. And this strategy is just one component of your overall content strategy, okay? So it's not going to be your complete strategy. It's just a component with the intention of utilizing content to grow. So what you're going to do is find and source the viral content. There's so many ways that you can do that. You can look at Google Trends, you can use Viral Spy, you can look at top tweets or top posts in the hashtags, or at just as simple enough as just using the Explore page. So if you're using the Explore page, make sure that you are doing what's relevant to your page and your audience on that specific page. So like if you're a skincare line, like make sure you're sticking to that when you're searching. Like don't do anything outside of it, like look at dogs or fitness, because you're going to change the algorithm. You want to just stick to whatever is important to your brand, and do the other things on the other pages that you have. Okay, and then when you find the piece of content, you're going to download it, or you can and use it as is, or you can repurpose it and jazz it up, whatever is best for your audience and what's going to resonate with them. The most important thing is to make sure that you give credit, okay? You have to give credit where credit is due. You have to, some people say like, well, oh my gosh, like, I don't, why would you use this and repost other people's content? Well, this is a social media app. Social media is designed for your content to be shared, right? Like you want your content to be shared for free so that you can grow your audience. And if someone's willing to share your content, that's amazing because they found it's highly valuable. But of course, people love it when their content is shared, but not when it's stolen. Okay. So you have to give credit where credit's due. So after you find your content, the next thing is to make sure that you schedule it at your most popular times. And you're going to be able to find that from your Instagram insights. Just go to the audience section and it's going to tell you the times that your followers are most active. And then you're going to use a short, engaging caption with relevant hashtags. And then you're going to measure it, okay? So after you use this strategy for 7 or 30 days or whatever, you're going to go back and you're going to look at your data. You can use the native Instagram insights to sort your content by the most follows, and it's going to show you all of the posts that brought in the most followers and how much followers they brought in, so that you can do your analysis. You can decide, okay, well, look at these, if this is a common style here, they really like this type of post, and then you can continue to do more of it, and not the ones that are working, so that you can really optimize your growth. All right, so you have to be able to, again, like I mentioned, measure and track your what you're doing, so that you can make sure that you're using your time wisely. Okay, so work smarter, not harder. So just to give you an example, you can see here that this is the viral picture that I found. It was actually, this piece of content is a video, but when I found it, it actually was just a picture. And so it was just her in the water leading her hands back. And I used our viral template to add the word me on it and then blessings. And then I just added a little sparkle GIF and it turned this picture into a video. So keep in mind when you're using viral videos that you want to use videos that people don't actually have to watch because it's a little bit harder to trend. So with this, all I did was add a sparkle over her hand. And, although it's a video, there's nothing to watch, but I'm going to get the benefits of, how videos spread a lot better than they do photos. But, it just depends. I usually mostly do photos when I do this strategy, but, it just, again, whatever works for you at that time. So you can see here just from this one post, there's 276 people decided to follow. We were able to trend in the hashtag. So you see here, we have the hashtags. And then look how many shares, almost 1,500 shares. So out of all of this reach and impressions, 276 people decided to follow. Like that's free. So just imagine if you did that every single day for 30 days, you're growing thousands of targeted followers for free. So one of the most important things though, is to make sure that you have the engaging caption. And so what that means is that you want a short and sweet caption. You don't want to this is not time for storytelling. This is short, sweet, to the point, okay? And you're going to have an engagement-based call to action. So you see in this one, it's just simply comment an emoji, a heart. You can have a little phrase, make it easy and make it simple. And if you're using emojis, don't pick an obscure emoji that someone has to search for. Use what is the most popular, okay? You have to make it very easy because you want this engagement, you want these likes within the first hour, and you want these shares, okay? Because once this happens, your post will go viral and it will trend. And then, of course, you use your hashtags like we mentioned. Stack your hashtags, make sure you pick the right types. And you can do this in the caption or the first comment. We usually use the first comment, but again, it's different for everybody. So you just have to test and see what works. Don't use 30 hashtags right now because that's how Instagram monitors spam. So stick to like 29 or 10 to 15 or 20 to 25, but just try not to use all 30. And, keep your nose to the ground, stay on trend, figure out what's relevant to your audience. What are they talking about? What's the latest viral happening within your niche audience? You can see in this example that recently, I don't know what was going on, but chiropractors were using influencers in their video content and they just were going viral. So people were making funny memes and TikToks of chiropractors, just like bags of chips, because, the crazy cracking sound that they make. And her video went viral. So you can see here that so many people decided to repost it. And I believe for her benefit, I think she gained like over 200,000 followers within the couple of weeks of her video going viral. And then of course, it's going to be great for you because it's new. Just because something has gone viral somewhere does not mean that everyone has seen it, right? There's over 1 billion people on Instagram and everyone's in their own unique bubble. So what's being seen somewhere else might not be seen in your unique bubble. So when you use it, that's how you have the ability for that piece of content to go viral, right? Because your unique bubble hasn't seen it, but it's relevant to them. So this is a great, really fun strategy. It's mutually beneficial. There's a lot of winning here. Same thing with this little girl, Milan. You can see you can either tag her in the photos or you can tag her in the comments, but she had this little cute singing video and Jada and Alicia Keys reposted it, right? So again, it's like, if you don't want your content reshared on social media, what are you doing? But you can see here that just adding this to your strategy is just going to give you an overall boost because that's what the chatter is in the algorithm and you're leveraging that. And get creative. You can see here in this example that she used this photo that was, I think it was like for a magazine photo for Jada, and she added like her own little meme on top of it. And I believe Jada shared it. So this people use this strategy. It's just that you were not aware of the application of it and how it was being applied to people's content. And if you look at Travel Noir, their whole entire page is built off of repurposing other people's content. They go and find the best content out there and share it. And so what actually then starts to happen is that people want their content to be shared there, right? They're going to use that hashtag, they're going to tag them because they want a chance to be seen. So this is a really amazing strategy to use. So how do you actually include it into your overall strategy? So if you're not following Frank Bod, you should definitely follow them because they have mastered Instagram and they make tens of millions of dollars from their Instagram. And we're constantly breaking down their strategy. So you can see in this photo that there's different types of product shots, but then you have this like little shot, it's of dogs because they like to use dogs and really cute stuff in their content. And they use this little viral pic of these two dogs to announce a new product, right? So this is how you can leverage viral content that fits naturally into your overall content. And same thing with this last photo with Glossier. If you're not familiar with Glossier, they are a makeup brand and they like to also use cute, cozy animals in their content. So they repurposed this video of this kangaroo kept falling asleep and leaning his head back. And it was relevant to their audience, okay? So that's how you can incorporate this into your overall strategy. So before I head off, I want to let you know of a special offer that we have that's going to help you master this, okay? Because as a small business owner or a small team, you have to wear many hats, right? Between being the creative director to customer service to being the social media manager, there's a lot going on. So if you don't have a strategy, it can be overwhelming, right? A strategy is going to keep you focused, it's going to give you direction, and it's going to help you get the results and move you closer to your goals. So we have in our academy the viral Instagram course. It's a 4-week step-by-step plan of our never before shared process for going viral on Instagram. Okay, so it's going to help you grow followers, boost engagement, and increase your sales, right? And then help you to build your community. So you're going to be mastering the 4 pillars of Instagram in order to have a well-rounded Instagram marketing strategy. So within the first week, we're going to be talking about building your foundation. So knowing your audience, how to clearly define your target customer so you can create a strategy that's specific for them, okay? So we're going to talk about how to get into the psychology of your audience and use that to create content. Then we're also going to talk about the art of the bio. When someone comes to your bio, and if they cannot understand what you do and your content is not clear and it doesn't match, they're going to leave. So how do you actually set your bio up for success so that you can actually convert those new visitors into followers? Then, of course, we're going to go through each of the 4 pillars that I talked about in depth so that you can understand them more comprehensively so that you know how to leverage them in your overall content strategy. And then lastly, we're going to go over in week 1 how to create your hashtag set. So how to stack your hashtags, how to pick the different types and blends for the different types of posts and content that you're going to be making, because hashtags are what's going to actually help make your post go viral. So you need to understand how to use them in order to make a lot of these strategies work, all right? So these are free strategies that you can use. You just have to understand the concepts. So the second week, we're going to go over the viral strategy that I talked about in depth, okay? So we're going to go into detail on how to use this from design tips to best practices to actually how to read that data so that you can start growing followers and bringing that high targeted traffic back to your account. Then in the third week, we're going to talk about community. So just like in Facebook groups, you have to keep your engagement up, right? And engagement for Instagram in terms of percentage is measured by likes and comments, right? We also want shares and things like that too, but the likes and comments is going to boost your overall engagement ranking, because then what Instagram's going to register is that you know how to bring people back to the platform and you know how to make them stay and interact. So coming up with content that's specifically designed to get likes and comments, okay, to boost your overall engagement. So learning about the caption formula, the different tips and tricks, and how, again, to optimize it to make sure that you are using your time wisely. And lastly, most importantly for a lot of you, are sales. Okay, so how do you know what your buyer journey is and your customer life cycle so that you can create a content strategy that's going to help guide those followers and turn them into loyal customers? Okay, because you can't just keep posting your product shots expecting sales, it just does not work like that. So also understanding the secret of sales psychology. So how to use your content and your captions in order to tell a story and create an experience so that your customers can visualize and imagine how to use their products and what that's going to be like for them and what transformation that they're going to get. You're also going to learn the different types of sales strategies from free to paid so that you can start to get those sales going and build that momentum, as well as the tips and tricks for having a sold out launch, whether you have a product or you are a course creator, whatever that is. We're going to talk about that as well. Then you're going to get your free bonuses worth over 568 bucks. So you're going to get a 30-day step-by-step viral plan. So after you go through learning all of this material, you're not going to have to try to figure out, okay, well, now that I know this, like, how do I actually incorporate it? Like, you're going to have a strategy that's going to tell you exactly what to do so that now you can, do this for yourself. Then you're going to have access to a private members only community, which is separate from the Facebook group so that you can specifically talk to other entrepreneurs that are in the program, as well as direct access to your mentors and experts. And you're going to get a viral hashtag set. So it has hundreds of different hashtags for 70 different types of industries, from skincare to bloggers to fitness to fashion to food, to create different hashtag sets that are going to be very powerful that are working right now on Instagram. Then you're going to get a content idea board. So it has hundreds of different examples of different types of content. So you never have to wonder or figure out how to make certain styles of content. You're going to have all the examples in this idea board, as well as a planner template so that you can create a system or a process for creating your content schedule every month. And most importantly, and lastly, a step-by-step guide to building your email list. This is amazing because if Instagram is down one day or deletes your account, you're going to be lost, right? It's going to be a big challenge for you. So the most important thing from creating the followers is to get them off your platform into your email list in another form of communication. And having the emails is also going to be important to creating targeted Facebook ads or lookalike audience that works. So you're going to get a guide on how to build your audience, okay? So all of this value and this entire strategy is only 97 bucks. It's currently on sale for 50% off while we do our intro to the course, and then we're going to raise the price. So the link is in the description, and I'll drop it again in the comments. So definitely make sure you hop on this before the price goes up, because how long are you going to spend on your Instagram page before you actually decide, to put in a strategy that works, right? So work smarter, not harder. Don't sit and try to guess and figure things out when there's roadmaps out there that people build to help you get to success a lot faster, okay? So that is it. Thank you so much for joining me and watching this live. If you're watching this on the replay and you have any questions at all, simply just leave them in the comments and I will be sure to get back to you and answer them. And if you have any questions about the Viral Academy, just let me know. It's definitely amazing. One of our clients, they are, now at almost 11,000 followers. Their engagement is over 13%. And when they did their course launch within 2 weeks, they were able to generate over 50,000 in sales. So that can be your reality too. So as long as you have a strategy. So again, if you have any questions, just drop them for me in the comments and I will be very happy to answer them. Have an amazing day and I will talk to you guys soon.